Hello guys, how are you? So in today's session we are going to talk about the creating and managing time series data, where we talk about that how you can create or how you can manage the time series data and plot some and do some crazy stuff from this time series data. So let's start with the today's session. What is the time series database? Basically, first of all, we have to understand what is the time series database which we are going to load. A time series database is a database optimized for the timestamp or time series data. So basically, a time series database having it is optimized for the timestamp, like for every column, for every row. The when the record is get from the raw data, when the record is get in or get saved, the timestamp is being record also, and it is also get saved for that record. Time series data are simply measurements or events that are tracked, monitored, downsampled, and aggregate over time. This could be server metrics, applications, performance monitoring, network data, sensor data, events, clicks, trades in a market, and many other types of analytics data. So basically, these timestamp can be came under anything, like when you are when there is application of the performance monitoring, or there is a network data, there also you need the time. And some other things, like when there is any events you need timestamp, when there is trades in market you need the timestamp. Time series database is built specifically for handling matrices and the events or measurements that are timestamped. And time series database is mainly built to specify and to handle the matrices or the events that the measurements that are for the timestamp. Next is the TSBD. The timestamp database is optimized for measuring change over the time. Properties that make time series data very different than other data workloads are data life cycle management, summarization, and the large range scans of many records. So now let's move on to the next topic, which is time series are one of the most common data types encountered in daily life. Stock prices, sales, climate data, energy usage, and the even personal weight are all examples of data that can be collected as regular intervals. Almost every data scientist will encounter time series in their work, and being able to efficiently deal with such data is an important skill in the data science toolbox. So basically, the time series is basically very common data types that is encountered day by day. Stock prices, sales, climate, everywhere this time intervals will used, and when the regular intervals is being collected, this time is also come. Almost every data scientist will know about this time series data. They work on this time series data set and get to know that how they have how and they know that how they can handle the time series data set, that how to handle the time series data set to get their job done. Definition: a time series is a collection of data points, and this is all about the definition of time series. Now let's move on to next topic, which is the what makes time series special. As the name suggests, time series is collection of data points collected at a constant time intervals. These are the analyzed to determine the long-term trend, so as to forecast the future or perform some other form of analysis. So basically, this time series is a collection of data points, and these are analyzed, determine the long-term trends that so that they can forecast many things from their long-term things to do by getting the long-term data, like to like getting the weather details of last 10 years or 30 years. They can predict the weather of next day. But what makes a time series different from, say, a regular regression problem? There are two things. It is time dependent. So the basic assumption of linear regression model that the observations are independent doesn't hold in this case. Along with an increasing or decreasing trend, most time series have some form of seasonality trends, that is variation specific to a particular time frame. For example, if you see sales of woolen jacket over time, you will invariably find higher sales in the winter season. So basically, this there are two important things, like it is in time, the things are dependent. Time is dependent, and in linear regression variables are not the variables are independent. Next is in time series data. In the time series data, there is something like seasonability, like you buy some woolen clothes in the winter only, and you won't buy the and you won't buy the woolen clothes in the summer. That's why the sales goes up and down according to the winter and summer. Next is loading and handling time series in Pandas. Pandas has a dedicated library for the handling time series objects, particularly the datetime64ns class, which stores time information and allows us to perform some operations really fast. Let's start by firing up the required library. So basically, the Pandas library also has dedicated libraries for handling the time series objects. Like pandas library also contains some module which can handle the time series dataset. When you load the dataset and you have a column of time series data and you have a column of time series data, then pandas has the facility to handle those data. So let's move on. Like in the pandas, import pandas as pd, import numpy as np, and now we will load the data set and look some initial rows and the data types of the columns. So you can just load the data set and you see the data and see the data types by seeing the data one dot data type. So you can see that there are some time series also, and if there are some time series, then you can load the time series data in this way. Data parse is equal to lambda dates pd dot data time strp time dates ym year and month. Then you read the data set and parse date as month, index column month, date parser, date parse. Then you print the data type. So I will show you this in Python coding. Next, let's understand the arguments one by one. Parse dates. This specifies the column which contains the date time information. As we say above, the column name is month, index the as we say the column name is month. So basically this parse date specify the column name which contains the date and time information. Next is index column. A key idea behind using pandas for time series data is that the index has to be variable depicting date and time information. So this argument tells the panda to use month column as index. So it is telling data frame that you can change the index to the date and time. Next is date parser. This specifies a function which converts a input string into date time variable. By default, pandas read data in the format the year, month, date, hours, minute, seconds. If the data is not in this format, the format has to be manually defined. Something similar to the data parse function defined here can be used for this purpose. So that's why if the you are loading the data and the date time data column has something like in this format, then it is okay. But the if the format isn't in this format, then you have to specify the format as I specify in this part, like year and month, because in this data you have only year and month, you don't have date or you don't have time. And next is, before going further, I will discuss some indexing techniques for time series data. Let's start by selecting a particular value in the series object. This can be done in the following two ways. So basically you can get the data and you can see about the data by the following two ways, like ts and specify the index and or the date. Next is ts and date and time. This just specify the year, date and month. Just specify in the date time, year, month, and date. Both will return the 112 value, which can be confirmed from previous output. And next is, suppose we want all the data up to May 1949. This can be done in two ways, like if you specify the dates, or you can use this column if one of the indices is at the end. Like if the first value is the starting value, then you can skip this value and you can specify like this. There are two things to note here. Unlike numeric indexing, the end index is included here. For instance, if we index a list as A5, then it would return the values as indexes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But the here the index 194951 was included in the output. The so next thing is like the index has have to be the sorted for ranges of work. If you randomly shuffle the index, this won't work. And next you move on to the consider another instance where you need all the values of year 1949. This can be done as you can just type ts 1949 and you get all the output for that. And that's all for the theoretical session where I tell you about the creating and managing the time series data, what is about the time series database. And next we talk about some definitions of it and about it, then what makes the time series special, what is the specialty about it, then loading and handling time series data in the pandas and the coding part. Then we talk about some hyperparameters. Then we talk about the how you can see the data, how you can do the slicing, and how you can use the indexing in this. So now let's move on to the coding session where I show you the implementation of all these in the Spider IDE in the Python programming language.